It makes me think, you are primarily a game composer, but you have also done some film work. Are there any like major differences between the two media forms, and what are some of the challenges that come with it?
Yeah, I mean, especially lately, I've really been embracing film work and can't wait to talk more about it once I can. But it's personal from composer to composer. Um, some composers will say there's no difference. I will say, for me personally, there's a huge difference.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely massive difference. Because I grew up in the game industry, so I learned how to write music in the game industry, I feel. I kind of grew up in the game industry, like I mentioned. And so my music early on was inspired and designed to be what I thought would be good music for video games, right?
Of
That was
course.
the whole perspective I had. But then when I started writing music for film, I found out that that music style does not fit film at all. It
Hmm,
really doesn't.
that's
Because my
interesting.
perspective on games is all about what's best for the game. So I had to reinvent my music style completely when working on film and kind of put all that knowledge behind me and try to start over. But the more film work I do, the more I can start pulling from all the stuff I've learned from games. But in the beginning, I had to just totally cut it out. I mean, there's many differences. One of the key differences, let's see, let's get some of them out. You can work on a scene and it can be like a 1 minute scene, but it can
Yeah,
go through five different emotions in 1 minute. You
yeah,
know,
I can
you,
imagine.
you know, you're cutting here, something's happening here, and it's like all these emotions in 5 minutes, and one of the emotions could just be like, I'm walking across the street, but we want some music for that. Oh, okay.
I can
You don't
imagine.
come across those kind of scenes in a video game, right? I mean, you are asked to write completely different types of music that you would never end up writing in a game, and in a game you usually write music for different states. So if like the state is suspense, then you write like a 2 3 minute suspense cue. And if you try to go anywhere else dynamically, no, you have to stay in the suspense, because if you go into action, we have another cue for that.
So basically, I can imagine one difference is that if in when making stuff for a game, there is a bit more like there's more options in terms of there might not be one scenario you need to capture. Like take approaching target, if you remember those tracks, for example, there will be
Hmm.
like 2 3 minutes of just nothing, like but an ambient pad and maybe some samples. Where I can imagine a film scene, you have 5 minutes, but it's very like there's a lot of clicks. Like, oh, from these 20 seconds, this is happening. The next 20 seconds, there's a new suspense and stuff.